and welcome to the third episode of Embrace Paradise Iran Real Talk with Linda. Today I have a great colleague, a great friend from Canada, Darren Quinn. Welcome to Dominican Republic, or should I say welcome back to the DR.
Welcome back, yeah. It's great to be here, and thank you so much for putting me on the show to have a little chat about all things real estate, of course.
Fantastic. Darren is a fellow realtor from Canada. I don't know him for a long time, but we became friends on social media, and it's been great to connect with you and have you here.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear about your insight of the Dominican Republic, investing here, comparison between the real estate investing in the DR and Canada. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am a realtor in Canada, like you said, and I've been investing in the U.S. market for about 20 years, a little bit of overseas stuff too, but mostly in the Dominican here on the North Coast. Just fell in love with it, my first visit, and I think 14 years later, I'm still coming back all the time, and it never seems like I can be here long enough, for sure.
Right. So you came to the DR 14 years ago for the first time?
Yes.
Where did you visit first?
I actually took my son to a resort, Casa Marina, just down the way here. And
Sasua?
Yeah. And when we were taking the little bus in from the airport, I saw all the real estate signs, and I was like, of course, I'm like, oh, I wonder what you need to buy a property in this country, because you never know the regulations and everything. So after being in the resort for 3 days, I was climbing the walls, and I wanted to see some properties. I'm like, I got to know what gets you what in a beautiful place like this, right? Everyone's always looking at their end game and where they want to be when they get a little older, or if you have the ability to do it now and not get old and enjoy it while you're still young, even better. But yeah, so we called a local realtor, and we went and looked at some properties, about 8 of them, ended up buying a condo in an old building. Escondido Bay.
Escondido Bay,
yeah,
nice.
Which is an old, kind of tired building.
Yeah.
But the ocean view was amazing, but the price was great. So we loved it.
Did you do a flip after? Did you do was it a fixer upper? What did you do with that?
It was a fixer upper. We put a little bit, not much work into it. We rented it Airbnb for a while, and we came back and stayed there a few times or whatever. And then we just felt I wanted to get something bigger, because there's only a 1-bedroom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes people like to start small.
Well, the budget said start small.
Small. Yeah. Plus, it's always nice when you don't know much and you just came here as a vacationer and
right.
Immediately decided to buy, which is a great sign. That's what happened to me too when I came to check it out. I ended up buying before I left back in 2021. Yeah. So did you continue investing after that in the Dominican?
I did, yeah. So my head's always kind of spinning in different directions. So, I went from that condo, sold it, and then I bought a house in Puerto Marina, fixed it up. I was going to keep it forever, and then I ended up getting a really good offer on it, so I sold it. And then I bought pre-construction condos in tropical Casa Laguna. Okay. 3 of them, and ended up selling those before it was done because they were in demand, and a commercial building, and built a house in Ocean Village.
Oh, very nice.
And now in the gardens of Lomas Veronis.
Perfect.
Built a nice home.
I become very curious as we talk, so I don't know the answers to any of these. I'm going to be just like you guys. As we talk, I'm going to find out, and I'm going to ask my questions accordingly. Can you share a little bit how profitable has it been? Do you suggest other people to look into investing in the Dominican? I know because you're a realtor yourself, I'm sure you understand the investing in Canada, in the U.S. I believe you mentioned that you own the property at some point in the U.S. as well. Yep. Just cover us a little bit so our audience understand if they should consider investing and getting out of their comfort zone.
Okay. Well, I would always say the principles of real estate kind of remain somewhat the same no matter where you are. You have to do your homework. You have to think about what you're buying, and if you're going to sell it, will there be a demand for it? So you buy with your mind and not your heart, I always say. And then, of course, Are you buying it for, short-term rentals to make income? Can you do it there? Will people want to rent there? So, and then get a good lawyer, work with a great agent, and, just keep your mind open. But, there's a lot of people in a lot of places, not just here, but that'll, they want to push you to buy something. But there's a lot of knowledgeable people in the area that can certainly help you. And you pick the right thing and it'll work out good, for sure.
Absolutely. And did you just buy and sell, or you also rented your properties as well?
I did some Airbnbs.
Okay.
Yeah, in Ocean Village for a couple of years at least, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And was that profitable for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have, from the top of your mind, what was your return on investment yearly? If not, then that's all good.
I don't have it off the top of my head, but I know, I think there was about, at one point, we're making about $90,000.
Per year.
Yeah.
And how much did that house cost you?
At the time, those were $220,000.
Wow, that's about 40%
Yeah.
return on investment. That's
Yes.
pretty good.
Yeah.
We're in the rental market here. We have few Airbnbs, and definitely if somebody knows how to market their home and how to dress up their house, and the location obviously is very important.
Absolutely.
The return on investment can be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the taxes are pretty good in the Dominican. If you set up your corporation, do everything legally, absolutely. I always recommend it to my clients, but as you know, you're a realtor as well. Location is always the most important. Tell me a little bit now what you see in Canadian markets for the investors and also even for the regular homeowners. I've been out of there for some time. I still follow it, but you're very fresh from there. So
Right. Yeah, so the Canadian market in particular, obviously it varies, when you get on a national scale, but I can really only speak mostly on, the Southern Ontario market where I live. It's been challenging, very challenging. The rates have been an issue for a while. And then a lot of people who bought during the big pandemic rush, have now changed their mind, and so they're looking to resell and recapture that money, which they can't. So it's been a very challenging market. Seems like always something coming up, elections, tariffs, and of course it makes people nervous to invest. But there's always going to be something.
absolutely.
You got to keep your own wheels moving, I think.
That's just it. I still do own one property in Canada, and I'm very nervous about it.
Yeah.
In 2021, when I sold all my investments, and when I kept that, I said, me keeping this property is just kind of like gambling in my mind, that if I lost it for some reason, because as you said, people lose their money and now
Right.
they can't regain it. I said, I'm just gonna, in my mind, understand that if my money is gone from this house, I accept it.
Right.
My family lives in it. It's my primary residence when I go back. I reside there. Yeah.
It's a buy and hold situation, so that's a good thing. Real estate's always on a trajectory.
Yeah.
And, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, but every 10 years they double or somewhere around that. So if you're able to hang on,
Yeah.
unless you need to sell,
Yeah, but
it's still not a bad thing.
Yeah, during COVID, my interest rate went from 1.75 to 6.49
Yes.
pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
My mortgage doubled, and I could afford, thankfully, to still make the payments and deal with the inflation.
A lot of people
But I
can't.
don't know.
Yeah. A lot of people are struggling. It's very hard. Very hard conversations we're having with clients, and they'll have a renter in there and they're paying what is probably, at the time, say it's $2,500 a month. Their mortgage is $2,400. Okay, they're out of pocket $100 a month. That's okay. We can do this. Float it for a while, and then that mortgage payment doubled, and now you're out of pocket $2,500 a month. Like, if you don't have it, and you can't get rid of the tenant, so
Right,
so
exactly.
you're either selling the property off and losing $100,000, $200,000, or you're taking a bath on the mortgage every month. And it's very hard to have these conversations, and because they're looking for good news, and it's not always there sometimes. So
Yeah, but they're dropping the interest rates quite fast, like 25 basis points.
yeah, there's been, I think, 6 or 7 consecutive drops.
Yeah,
Which is great.
it's still up though. I keep a close eye on it.
Yeah, it'll never really get back to that.
1.7.
Yeah, that was unsustainable. You know, the banks were borrowing money to service their own mortgages, so they kind of put themselves in a bad situation by just giving everything all the time, and so that's why we ended up with the big slide up, and now it's finally
correcting itself.
correcting. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I love about investing in the Dominican, and I always tell my clients, I'm like, buy what you can.
Right.
Don't aim high, because everybody is used to financing in Canada, right?
Yep.
Canada, US, financing is widely available. You have 20% down. Get a house for yourself, $1 million, for $200K down, and then you're good to go. Here, they come and they're like, okay, I have $200,000. What can I buy?
Right.
In their mind, they want to put 20% down. I'm like, no. The Dominican financing, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
Number one, their terms are shorter, the interest rates are way higher.
Mm-hmm.
We're foreigners, they come here and they don't have the credit like they're not established here
Right.
with the credit. So that kind of brings them down. But I'm like, okay, invest in what you can,
Right.
because the market is strong here. Have a vacation home, and then when you're not here, rent it out. Your property is going to appreciate, and then you're going to sell it. And then you're going to buy something else. Especially for us Canadians, because when we come here, we invest in the US dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Then your money appreciates in the USD. You rent in the USD. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your money goes way further in comparison to what you do in Canada. Now, getting to tariffs. I haven't been in Canada since the tariffs started kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
Is that affecting the market? Your Bohemia.
Yes. Yeah, it's affecting the market, but funny thing, or maybe not funny, but it's kind of, I think, personally, it's going to have a positive effect on our market in Southern Ontario, because we had a lot of people investing in the U.S. secondary homes, and I also think it's going to help countries in areas like this, where people are, instead of investing in certain areas of the U.S. where, there's a lot of storms, the insurance is very high, and a lot of different other factors, property taxes and stuff. So I think, I know our area is going to be this summer because of the tariffs. It's going to be a lot busier with tourists
Coming back home?
Yeah, inside Canada. So
Yeah.
and then people that would go to Florida or other warmer places are going to start coming places like here. I think
That is what we are seeing already, that around 40,000 Canadians already sold their homes in Florida.
it's wild.
I must say, Americans are our brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Right? There is no difference between us and Americans, and it will always remain like that. And now politics are going one way or other. It's gonna affect every market. That's normal. They come and go. But it is good to see that Canadians are taking a stand. I think me and you were just kind of chit-chatting before. This has made Canadians unite like never before.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably long overdue for sure. And I think a lot of people didn't realize the trading in between provinces wasn't really a thing on a lot of levels. And, kind of like, what? They don't trade these things within the country or whatever? We have so many resources and so much... production in this country that, should be, keep it in-house. And I think it's going to not force a lot of people, but people are going to go see parts of the country that they haven't seen, and stuff like that. So, there's always, for every action, there's an opposite reaction. And, sometimes it's not always a negative thing.
Absolutely. No, I see it as positive, because now I see Canadians taking more stands for Canada.
Yep.
People are standing up and people are talking. People are bringing their money home. People are saying, you know what, if this is going to be that way, then I'm going to change my direction. And we're seeing that a lot of people now that's selling their house in Florida, they're starting to divert their monies to other parts of the world. Right. Snowbirds, right? We have huge amount of snowbirds.
And I think less politically charged countries will benefit because people are just getting tired of,
Politics.
politics, like left, right, and center. Like you turn on the TV, the radio, it's just relentless, right? And like, hey, let's go have a hamburger somewhere, and like let's talk about a new band you checked out, or some new music. Like it's just, we've kind of gotten off all that stuff, and it's just nonstop, and it gets exhausting. Okay, so
I can only imagine. I left Canada in 2021, and it was extremely draining when I was there, because it was all, everywhere you went, the TVs were talking about news and all that. And since I moved here, gone.
Yeah.
I don't even watch TV.
No, it's funny when I'm here, same thing, because it's like, there's always a remote and a TV and cable, and for some reason, I just don't feel like turning it on here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the only TV I really want to watch right back here.
Oh,
right?
exactly.
It's just way less stressful here. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. At home, and I am. At nighttime, I will just put a Netflix on because I like to sleep into the background noise, but I don't have cable at home.
Yeah.
I deleted all the social media channels that I had on my phone. I used to follow some channels, and now I don't even, because I don't want to hear it. I don't like it to be brainwashed because I feel like the more they repeat, how they say that you repeat a lie enough times and it becomes your reality?
Yes.
Doesn't exist here.
So think about this. If you're like looking at a 24-hour day, and the average person maybe sleeps 8 hours a day, average person maybe works 8 hours a day, that leaves you 8 hours a day. You're taking a shower, you're doing things or whatever, so that time, for the most part, you kind of want to do something you enjoy doing.
Uh-huh.
And if you're spending your whole time just like online arguing about politics to people who nobody wants to have their opinion changed, and it doesn't really work. It's just an endless battle. I mean, there's much better things you can do with your time, I think. Go learn a language, read a book, I don't know, go for a walk.
Exactly. And the difference between here and any time that I go back home is everybody here is always in a good mood.
Yes.
50% of the people are vacationing all the time. And the remaining 30% is us that we live here as the foreigners, expats. And then you have the remaining is the Dominicans that live here, and they live for today. Tomorrow, God will help.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the day, now when you take a year and you spend 5 months out of 12 in a dreadful gray winter, that's just it's depressing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And I try not to talk about it as much in my videos and all that, because I genuinely feel bad. I lived in that for about 12 years. Good. And I dragged it. I definitely don't like cold. I used to work in a factory back in the day when I was new in Canada. I used to wake up at 5:30. I start cleaning my car, warm it up, put 3-4 pants on, snow pants. Yeah. Get out there, and I'm
hopefully cut through the roads with your vehicle to get to work.
Very blessed that I don't have to live in it, but a lot of my friends and loved ones, the people that follow us on social media, live there. But it really doesn't take much to put your mind into it and make it happen. At least come for vacation. At least get out of there for as long as you can. Nowadays, with the workforce is changing, and a lot of people working remotely from home. Yes. It's more doable for people to come out.
Yeah. I mean, if I could figure out a way to do my career from my home, I'd be living down here.
Yeah. You're already halfway there.
Yeah.
You invested here. You developed. You built homes.
It's unbelievable to be able to do those kind of things in a place like this. I mean, it really is pretty seamless. Surround yourself with good people to help you, and it just, I have people say, "Oh, don't you run into challenges with contractors and everything at being like a third world country?" And it's like, well, it's a developing country. Oh, yeah, I don't think it's third world. Some of the things going on here are a little bit more advanced back home, you know, in a lot of ways. But what I say is same challenges in the U.S., Canada, Dominican Republic, and probably many other places. You know, you're bound to run into some bad situations and bad people that try to take advantage of situations everywhere. But you know, you just got to, you know, use your network and use, you know, advice from people and try to get things done the right way. So.
Absolutely, that's right. And it's even in Canada itself, in the U.S. itself, you always have to do your own due diligence, do your own homework before you do anything, right?
Oh, I'm in court all the time, chasing contractors around in my own country.
Yeah.
For, you know,
that doesn't have an ending, my friend. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, that does not have an ending.
It doesn't.
You know that I know that you mentioned you also built here. Can you explain us a little bit about the building process here, what it takes to do it, other than money?
Well, yeah, the money is definitely a thing, but it's actually quite seamless. Pretty much just like everywhere else. Find a piece of land, and get the lawyer to do the title searches. Make sure, you know, it has a dislinde, which is a title, and then you know, hire an architect to get a drawing done. Then you got to take it down and get it approved, and then you hire your builder and you build. It really is very simple.
Very simple, right? Is it simple here or in Canada?
Canada's very hard. Very hard.
Yeah.
Spend so much time going back and forth with the zoning and planning departments, and you know, they really they're so hard to get a hold of a lot of times, and everything gets dragged on a lot. So
I'm gonna pause here for a second, but we are right now in Coconut Restaurant located in Encuentro. We couldn't pass on this beautiful view. We have so many amazing places here that we decided to start covering them one by one in the episodes that we're having. So we ordered some appetizers. Thank you very much. I'm drinking chinola juice, which is passion fruit. It has more vitamin C than orange.
Oh
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's very rich in and it's my go-to all the time with no ice. I drink probably 4 or 5 glasses every day.
Oh wow, so your vitamin C is peaking.
Yeah, like I'm already a healthy person. Here I get enough vitamin D and definitely vitamin C as well. You're drinking Bohemia.
Yeah, which is also all natural ingredients: water, malt, hops, and yeast.
Yeah, it's a Dominican beer,
German
right?
Purity Law 1516.
Yeah, is it Dominican beer?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I know they have Presidente that is very famous.
Yeah, this one I like better.
I heard a lot of, lately we've been doing some events and I heard that people are like asking about Bohemia a lot. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a drinker much, but I drink beer with tomato juice.
Oh yeah, a red eye.
Red eye, is that what's called in America? That changed the game.
Oh yeah, that's a West Coast and an East Coast thing.
I didn't know that was a thing until I told somebody that I don't like drinking beer and I like Caesar sometimes to drink.
Right.
They're like, have you tried that?
That's the best of both worlds.
It was a game changer for me. So now if I'm going somewhere and I'm if I want to get a little bit of alcohol in my system, that's what I drink.
Well, the Finish Line Bar in Sosua.
Yes, thank you for bringing
actually
that
makes the best Caesars in town. And they do have the coldest beer in Sosua. And they have live music, trivia nights, lots of fun stuff. Big popular Canadian and U.S. expat hangout. And of course, everyone's welcome there. So, good cross-section of people.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to talk about Finish Line. I've heard of them a lot. I've drove past by it. I usually always work. I rarely get the time to go out. But Finish Line, if you're a Canadian, if you're American, and if you're looking for places to go hang out, Finish Line is owned by a Canadian gentleman.
Yeah, from Toronto.
From Toronto. And I passed by it one time and I was like, damn, what place is this? Everybody is on the street partying, like Dominican style parties. Everybody have their drink, music, partying, but with white people.
Like Canadian flags everywhere. That's how I found it the first time. I was just walking down the street and I looked down the side street and I saw these Canadian flags and all this like live music and chaos. I was like, went and checked it out, talked to Mike, the owner, and then we've been very close friends ever since.
Yeah, Mike, my friend, I haven't met you yet. Kudos to you from here. I have heard about your establishment from a lot of people. I'll definitely at some point stop by there and have
Caesar.
the Caesar, yes, or a beer
Or a
with
red eye.
Clamato, or red eye, yeah.
He's always got Clamato, so you're good.
Yeah, for sure. But kudos to you. I hear from a lot of Canadians that they come there, my friends. They hang out at your bar. You're definitely popular in our town. Thank you for having such a great establishment for our fellow Canadians and Americans to hang out there. And you're one of their fans. I can see that
Big
you're
fan.
wearing their shirt. So, number one, start enjoying because I want to rate their food as well while we're here. So feel free, eat and chat at the same time.
So this is like a mixed seafood
I think this
assortment.
one is the mixed seafood.
That's a ceviche.
Did he order ceviche?
Yeah, you did. Octopus ceviche.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought I ordered just the octopus, but okay. I'm not best friends with onions, but you can help me finish it because I know you wanted to order that in the beginning.
Me and onions go way back.
Yeah? Okay, there we go. Then please go wild.
But yeah, I think there's some shrimp rings, some calamari, octopus, different breaded seafood items, and then looks like a tangy sauce.
Dipping sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks great. I mean, like ceviche on a beach on a warm day. It's just
You can't go wrong.
excellent dish unless you don't like onions. Folks.
That's me. Anyways, I didn't read the menu clearly well enough, but you know
That's
what?
okay.
It looks still pretty good. I'm gonna be friends with onion today
Yeah,
for the day.
onion can be your friend today.
Sure. Yeah. There we go. They're perfect.
But yeah, this is a lovely location on the beach. A lot of surfers this area. A lot of surfers just down right on the beach here. They're all surfing and everything, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, Encuentro Beach is actually right over here. As he mentioned, we have a lot of people that come here, stay in the neighborhood of Encuentro. It's a water sports lovers neighborhood pretty much. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's some kite surfers also in the background. But we have the kite beach literally 5 minutes down from here.
Yep.
That we have the world-renowned kite beach. Let's see.
It is the water sports capital of the Caribbean. This north coast here, Cabarete. This is, well,
Was it good?
oh, very good. I mean, this
yeah.
octopus is just super tender.
It is pretty good.
Sometimes you get it, it's a little spongy. This is just perfect.
Fresh. Yeah, they bring their food fresh here. We come here quite often, and when I was thinking of having a beautiful backdrop, it's not hard to think of places here, but I
Right.
thought coconut
There's a lot.
definitely deserves a shot. We also have some land lots here that are available for sale if you're looking to be in the surf district and be on the ocean. The lands are about 1,000 square meter, $1,000 per meter.
Right.
Yeah,
That's good.
but for the location, it's phenomenal.
And you don't have to be a water sport sort of savant or like a surfer or a kite surfer to enjoy this. I mean, they come down here and they surf for a couple hours a day, but just being down here, I mean, you cannot love it.
Yeah, I don't do any water sports personally myself.
I'm broken, so I don't
Yeah.
too many surgeries. But
Yeah, for me, ocean is way too big for me. You
Yeah.
know, I'm a good watcher, but not so much of it.
hey, you know what? It's a nice way to kill some time. You can go down to Kite Beach down there. It's a whole strip of bars and restaurants. You can sit out there and watch the surfers all day and live music, and you can't beat it.
You can't beat it. Yeah, for sure. Have you tried this one yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please. Raw and real.
There's always discussion about North Coast and Punta Cana. You know, so what would make someone decide between the two? I mean,
That's a very good question, because before I decided to invest in here, I thought Dominican Republic was all about Punta Cana.
right?
I had never heard of anywhere else that people would go to,
Yeah.
right? So, and then when I decided to come here, I'm very glad that I did, because now I go to Punta Cana and there's nowhere in hell that I would invest.
Very different
limit.
worlds. Very different.
Very different. It is good for people who want to just go to all-inclusive, kick back for a week.
Right.
because that's all you can do as a partner there. When you go outside of the hotel, there really isn't much to do. It's very commercialized. It's plazas. And Punta Cana is not really Punta Cana. Did you know that Punta Cana is very small itself?
Yeah,
It's like Bávaro.
Bávaro, yeah.
A lot of different towns that the people call Punta Cana.
Right.
But the Punta Cana itself is
It's very small.
Very small. It's right beside the airport. It's super tiny. But the difference, I would say, for people that kind of understand it is the entire coastline almost is covered by all the hotels. So
Right.
there's only very few locations that you can enter to the beach. Even though our beaches here are public to everybody,
Right.
available to everyone, you can't access
You
it.
can't access it.
No, because there is a huge gate.
It's kind of a myth, right? So
You really need to know where you're going before you can get to the beach, which in the beginning, it took us months and months and months. Now we know, okay, if we drive all the way there, that we can get to the beach. And plus, there isn't much of an expat community outside of the hotels, right? There's so many locals, so it feels a little bit lonely. There's a lot of Russians that kind of nested there. Now that they're kind of moving up here, because they also have a lot of the Russian community here as well. But here, what I find, we don't have many all-inclusives, right? So
no, you're right.
people come to Airbnbs, so they don't get stuck in the hotel,
Right.
with the hotel activity. So they need to get out, go to the restaurants, go to discover places. So it's I find that that's a La La Land, hotel lifestyle. And here is actual Caribbean living, and you get to feel the Caribbean.
You're getting submerged in the culture down up here, over here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's much more just the local people, the local food, the local, experience, rather than going to a resort, which is just like, it's like going to the mall, I never enjoyed resorts because I just get bored very quickly. It's just not stimulating enough,
Yeah.
Unless you can walk off, and that's what I did like Casa Marina Resort here, because you walk out the front door and there's the town.
Right.
So you can go in and out, sort of thing. Across the street from there, going on right now today, there's Dominican baseball players playing Quebec teams or whatever for like a whole week. And it's just packed full of amazing baseball players, and you can go watch that for free and, whatever. There's just so much cool things.
It's funny you mentioned it, because I had a friend that just left yesterday, and he was staying in Casa Marina. I was waiting in front of the hotel for him to come out. I see this guy. He's for sure from Canada. He's coming out with his baseball gear. He came to vacation, staying in Casa Marina, and he brought all of his baseball gear with him.
Yeah.
And he was going across the road to play baseball with everybody else.
I was there last night watching it.
Oh, were you?
Amazing.
No way. Okay, cool. I missed you there. But it's so different, the difference between two of them. And most times I get people there like, I want to buy in Punta Cana. I'm like, may I ask what made you choose Punta Cana?
I think they just feel like that's probably a place that they've been, and they identify the whole island as that.
Yeah.
But they're very different.
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend you guys, if you are looking into find a place for your retirement, if you're a snowbird, if you're an investor, make sure you do your due diligence on a location. Punta Cana, you can get cheaper properties in Punta Cana, and specifically because they get location, right? You pay for the location. People that go to Punta Cana, they don't Airbnb, they go directly to the hotels.
Right.
It's all inclusive. So who rents in Punta Cana? People like us. When we go there to visit projects, when the Dominicans go visit family or whatever, we don't go to all inclusives. We have this all the time. I don't need to go to all inclusives,
Yeah.
So I always tell people, I'm like, make sure that you do your due diligence and understand the locations.
Right.
If you want to make money off of your property, or if you're coming here as a snowbird,
Yep.
you don't want to get stuck somewhere that you don't have people around you to hang out with, or you're so far to the beaches that you have to have a car, or you have to know places that how you can get to the beach. So that was a very good question. I'm glad.
Further to that, which I'd like to add to, so just focusing on the North Coast here, and so we're in between Cabarete and Sosua, and the locations vary so differently when you get, Sosua, and then you get, Chermicos down there, and then you come. So I've had properties all up and down because I keep changing my mind where I wanted to be. I loved being out Cabarete East at the Victorian, at a place there, and I was just like, just a little too far to walk to the beach. So I moved to the other side or whatever. So you really have to, people always comment on these Facebook groups about the Dominican real estate, which I'm on a lot. They say, where should I buy? Where should I buy? Sosua, Cabarete, in between, Perla Marina. And it's like, go down there and rent.
Yeah.
Or stay there for a couple weeks. Align yourself with a great realtor that knows the area, that wants to sell you what's best for you, not what makes them the most money. And, someone with integrity, not someone that's delivering pizzas on a motorcycle and playing realtor in between, someone that does it full time and that knows the areas and knows the projects and can show you all the different options, and then you decide from there, right? And
absolutely,
again, you need to know what you want to, your use is for. You're renting it short term, you just want to be close to the beach, you want to be in the hills. The hills of Sosua are beautiful. Up in the mountains, you can have a nice home up at El Choco, and it's farmland. Yeah, it's beautiful up there too. And some people they absolutely just love it. So it really depends. There's so many different options.
I always talk about this. People that, including myself before I came here, I wanted to be right there.
Yeah.
On the ocean.
That's where it starts.
I want to wake up and fall right into it.
Yeah. That's the first thing.
And then you come, number one, the price becomes a factor. When you're right on the ocean, you have to spend more money. Maintenance is higher.
Yeah, the salt.
The salt layer maintenance is higher. I mean, it's not always a factor, but I always tell my clients that you need to be mindful about all of this. And then when you start living here, you realize that this is 5-10 minutes from your house.
Right.
You can be there in 10 minutes from your house. You don't have to be there. And the mountains are cooler, breezy. I mean, you get a nice breeze on the ocean as well, but I live on the mountains. I love it.
The coast beautiful up there. I couldn't believe it when I went up there the first time. It was so incredible. But yeah, I mean, and the other thing about being close to the beach, you realize that you can spend a day at the beach anytime. I was down at the beach this morning and people were bringing coolers down. What is it, Wednesday? It's packed.
Yeah.
But not too busy. But they had full coolers, they're spending the whole day there, and I'm like, this is good. They're good living right here.
Yeah, again, if it depends what you're buying the property for. I find that for investment purposes, the closer you are, especially if you're on the water, it's always higher demand,
right?
More money.
You'll get paid a premium. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you have the money, and if you want to buy a good Airbnb for investment purpose and come here on vacation at sometimes, sure, be my guest. Buy the best property on the beach because you're going to get the value for your money. You're going to make a lot of money. The demand is going to be high for the vacationers that come here for a few days, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is. But if you're looking for a retirement home, you're a snowbird, you're not going to you rely necessarily on the rental income and you just want to rent it when you're not here to make up for some money, then look into different opportunities because this is going to become your daily life. You're going to be there in 10 minutes, enjoy the whole day on the beach. You rarely spend your time in the Dominican inside the house.
Right.
You're always outside enjoying the weather. As long as you got air conditioner and a shower and a good place to rest at night, that's mostly what people are going to need. I bought such a big property when I came here with a Canadian mentality, but thank God it was on the hills in Hispaniola residential. Right. So I still get to enjoy it.
Right.
But the house is just damn too big.
Yeah.
It's too big for my needs.
Yeah. I built a monstrosity too that I still don't know why I needed something that big, but the construction was very affordable. I mean, to look at you think about resale, it's like, why not build something big if it's just a little bit more,
Right.
And you got the land, right? So
in Canada, we spend most of our times for 6-7 months inside, right? Because of the winter, and you want to have room to set up a game room, a hangout room, friends room, Right.
But that's not really
the same mentality.
It's not really a thing here, yeah.
Yeah. Here, I just use my rooms for people to come and crash when they come from Canada, my friends and all that. At least it's good for that purpose. But other than that, it's just too big. what suggestions would you have for anybody that is looking to invest in a Dominican or anywhere out of their comfort zone around here? Do you have anything that you want to give that you experienced yourself and you would want them to be aware of?
Like I kind of mentioned before, but I'll, try to add to it a little bit more. Get yourself a good lawyer. A good lawyer. Very important. I saw her running into the good lawyer's office this morning whenever when I was at the bank. And I mean, it's nice to see we're using the same people, for the most part. And I mean, there's a lot of people down here. Oh, I would say one thing that's important is people always say, aren't you worried about, being a gringo getting, screwed over and taken advantage of by the Dominicans? And I'm like, at first I was like, oh, I better worry about that. But I find it's not the Dominicans. It's the gringos sometimes that are the worst. And actually, I've never been done wrong by a Dominican down here at all. But I found expats. Some people have left their native country for reasons we do not know and are continuing not so good business tactics because it's a little less regulated. But get yourself a good realtor, a good lawyer. If you're using an architect or a builder, ask as many people as you can, get references, and it'll be just like everywhere else.
Yeah, 100%.
There's horror stories everywhere in Canada, U.S. It's probably less here, but and if you're thinking of coming to the North Coast, I think the first decision you got to make is what side of the main highway you want to be on, because the highway basically splits down. On one side is this, and then the other side goes up into the hills in some parts. So once you kind of figure out what side you want to be on, then you can narrow it down to the little pocket. There's so many different amazing gated communities. Seahorse Ranch just down here has like horseback riding and equestrian stables, and I mean there's so many different. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you really got to get down here and spend some time, and talk to the realtor you're working with. Hopefully it's Linda, but tell them where you want to be, like right now. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be? What's your end game?
Yeah.
And sort of that way she can, or the realtor can spearhead, your search and narrow it down, because there is so many different options, which is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. And there is a wide range of availabilities, starting from, I think the lowest we have on our website right now is 84,000 USD,
right,
all the way up to go sky's the limit type of numbers that people can invest. It just depends. I always, as I mentioned before, get your foot through the door. The hardest part is the starting part. Once you start, the rest is gonna come easy. I see so many people that they can do it today, but they're procrastinating. I'm happy that I moved here and COVID happened, because it forced me out of my comfort zone.
Well, you're not promised tomorrow.
Right. Yesterday was our grand opening, and I was talking.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You missed it by a couple hours. You got here a little bit too late.
Yeah, it was a slow check-in.
Yeah. Oh, good. But I was telling people, I'm really glad that, that time of the world, it really worked for my favor, because it really pushed me out of my comfort zone. Was it doable for me at that time? Probably not. Right. But I made it happen.
There's always a reason why it won't be doable if you allow one to be. So
yeah,
about a year or two behind. Won't be long.
Life is going faster. Yeah. Life is going really fast, and if you're gonna wait for tomorrow that may never come. So if you have dreams, go after them.
Absolutely.
Don't wait for it, because there is always that next carrot that you're gonna have to chase. There is always that nicer home. There is always that. I don't even know. It's just the sky is the limit when there is always excuse to make, right? So if you want to live the life, doesn't matter if you want to come here and rent, doesn't matter if you want to come here and buy, just get out there and explore. The world is big. You can make money everywhere as long as you're willing to do it.
Right.
My goal when I moved to the Dominican was to help as many people as possible achieve the freedom that I achieved by coming here at the age of 35. And the business that I got into allows me to do that. You know, I do this passion with love.
You're a life changer.
You know what?
A quality of life changer.
I get to show a property, doesn't matter if it sells, if it doesn't sell. I showcase a wonderful country, wonderful island. And at the end, the smile and the freedom that I give to help people to get, it's priceless. You can't put a price on it.
No, you can't.
You cannot. And at the timing that I left Canada, I promised myself that this amazing feeling that I had when I broke through that corporate lifestyle
Right.
and got to live this free life. And I'm probably working way harder than what I was working in Canada, but it doesn't really feel like it.
Yeah,
this is my work.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
So if you don't really notice it, then you're enjoying it.
Yeah. So if you guys are, if you're a entrepreneur, business owner, there's so much gap in the market in Dominican Republic. It's improving country. It's improving very fast. We are breaking records in Caribbean countries and North American countries. Get in touch with me. Honestly, I have so many business ideas that I can't do it myself. And I would love to see it here because I like to enjoy all of those. But I'm a one-man power. I have business partners. We are doing as much as we can, but we can't do it all ourselves. So get in touch with me. Let me give you some ideas that you can make it happen here with a little money, next to no money, some of them. And some of them need more capital than the others. But do you agree with that? There's so much gap in the market
So much
here.
opportunity that's just untapped into, for sure.
Yeah,
And just needs the ideas and the drive, right?
that's it. That's it. I mean, they're not hard to make it happen.
No.
The business world in the Dominican is so much easier than creating a business model in Canada. You're dealing with way less permits. You need way less capital to start it. And there's just so much more opportunities and next to none competition.
Yeah. And a lot of people that I've run into over the years have been here, like, how long have you been here? 30 years, 35 years, 20 years, and it's just like, wow.
I
And it's that we
envy
came
them.
here and we just said we're not leaving. And I love that.
I envy them because I just listed a couple properties and the gentleman was like, oh, I've been here for 35 years. And when he told me how much he bought the properties,
Yeah.
at that time, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God. Then, you know, people always ask me, what's the biggest regret? My biggest regret that I didn't find this place sooner.
Right?
You know, if I was here 2015, 14, 13.
Yeah, but you know, you also could have found it later.
Yeah,
So it's
100%.
it's all your
Absolutely.
perspective, right?
Yes, and that's why
And you're still young.
the best time to do it is now. You know, I'm really glad that I took the initiatives
Yeah.
to make it happen
Oh, yeah.
because I could have missed it at that time.
No, you dove in like all in, which is incredible.
Yes.
And now you're opening a beautiful office and things are rolling.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
Zero regret, zero regret. Well, I very much appreciate it. I very much enjoyed our conversations. If there is anything else that you would like to add, please feel free.
No, like you said, just get out there and just get out there. Look at places. You know, you only live once, and you know it's really we're pre-programmed, you know, to stay within our just box parameters. But you know, the world is a big, beautiful place.
It is.
Go out and enjoy it. Like, go find something that puts a smile on your face and makes you excited to get out of bed every day.
That's
There it
just it. We have so many beautiful places. Since 2021, I decided to just travel and put my life in no longer pause in my life because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Get out there, enjoy it. Dominican Republic, welcoming country to foreigners to invest here. It is one of the easiest countries that you can bring your money to. You can invest, you can come and stay for as long as you want. Talk to a lawyer about it. We stay here. When we leave from here, we pay over a stay fee. In online, it says that you can stay up to a month, but there are some ways that you can come and stay longer. You can get in touch with us or with the lawyer and find out the parameters on that. But this country, for me, checked a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
I can see that so did for you.
Even my interaction with the law enforcement today. I pulled over And I didn't have my wallet, my license, my passport, anything. I didn't have the ownership to the car. And he just said, okay, I'll write you a ticket.
Yeah.
1,000 peso, which is what, like $10?
$25.
$25 Canadian.
For all
Probably
those,
50 in US.
for all those things that you didn't have.
Oh, jeez,
You
yeah.
would have probably detained by now if you were in Canada.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, easy peasy.
Easy
I was
peasy.
in and out in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, it's just it's a very laid back lifestyle. It's hard to get really stressed down here because it just doesn't. It's not a thing here, you know. And you learn things happen at a certain pace, and I think the longer you stay here, you kind of do things at that pace, and it's healthy for your mind, body, and soul.
yeah, I got here 20 minutes late for our podcast. And as soon as I came here, I said, hey, man, you can't blame me, man. I'm on the Dominican island time now.
Oh, well, I'm waiting here. I wasn't waiting
Tough life.
in a snowstorm, you know, like freezing. So it's no problem at all.
You really learn how to slow down. I'm still having a hard time with that, which I'm glad I am because I work with Americans, Canadians all the time. We still do business here. But really, when you're stressed out, people tell you,
yeah, tranquilo.
like you're like stressing me out, relax. Oh, and so you really get to slow down. I appreciate you joining us. You're only here for a short few days, but I'm glad that you got out of the cold and came here.
Yeah, it was a nice little break. Snowing today in my town. Yeah. So I'm like, this is beautiful. So, and I really appreciate you having me on, and it's always great chatting with you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Best of luck with the new office and everything. I see you're making big moves, which is fantastic.
Thank you. We definitely.
A great crew here. I didn't want to eat this because I think the microphone would be like, it's a little crunchy.
But now, enjoy it.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Very good. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed our third episode. I'm sure that all these conversations are helpful. Again, subscribe, like, send this video to someone, whoever you think that is going to be helpful, whoever is thinking of making a move to abroad somewhere hot. Share this video with them, put them in touch with us, let them take advantage of all these great information that we are bringing to you. And we will be seeing you soon with more. Thanks again for joining me.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Hey.